Alright, good evening, and this is the WWE Raw review for June the 27th, 2016. And I've dubbed this the USA Network should cancel Raw. You know, when a show a big enough it usually gets canceled. Agitated crap. Well, let's see. Last night I watched the BET Music Awards. It was a great tribute to Prince and Muhammad Ali. Beyonce had a great intro to the BET Music Awards with Kendrick Lamar. Let's see. Great music performance there. Even though I didn't know half of the people who were at the BET Music Awards. Because usually I know the artists because I watch BET because of the countdowns and they should really bring those back on BET because even though MTV only have a block of music videos in the morning, at least the majority of what's on MTV is all the original content, even though BET has little. I mean, they have original shows, but they don't really show their reruns on them. But at least anything that BET produces is much more entertaining than what Raw has produced. And now there's rumors that Roman Reigns might not be at the main event at Battleground because he failed the wellness test. But from what I'm looking at, he failed the wellness test before the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. And now they suspended him, so he won't be on our television sets, which probably might be a good thing, but I don't know. I'm gonna try to build it up to a Shield triple threat main event at Battleground between Seth, Ambrose, and Roman Reigns. And now because of this, and I would try to look up what. I mean, talk about he failed a drug test, but they didn't say what drug they found in the system. Which either this is real or this is worked. Because of what happened at the beginning of Raw, I'm starting to think this might not be true. That this might be some kind of storyline. Because usually they want to try to keep something like that off the air, but SmackDown's still going to be live sometime in July 19th. The draft's still on. The whole rebranding and I don't know, the way it sounded like and then throughout Raw, it sounds like they might try to separate the WWE World Heavyweight title because it's the WWE title. Meaning that when SmackDown goes live, we might as well see the World Heavyweight title back on SmackDown. I don't know. But if they are going to do rebranding, they're going to have to separate the belts. Because you're going to have two brands on Raw and SmackDown, you need to have two top tier belts. I mean, that's the reason why they had a unification match between John Cena and Randy Orton to put those belts together because they stopped the dual brands with Raw and SmackDown. Well, just tonight, well, The Miz finally made his return. Although, what they were trying to do with him tonight, I don't know, the crowd in Tampa Bay was just dead. They did not enjoy anything that the WWE had to offer. And usually Tampa Bay is a good crowd for the WWE, but I guess with how the WWE is run now, no one likes it. And yet, still people keep trying to get tickets for these shows. I don't understand. You shouldn't buy tickets to a show that you know it's going to be boring. And these network shows, you know, one of the days I will try this WWE network to see how it runs, but could be a waste of money. I mean, $9.99 for what little sports, and I don't know whether or not Raw is broadcast live, but oh, you would think that the WWE network would have Monday Night Raw streaming live on there or SmackDown, and yet they are not doing any promotions for the other two shows that they have. You know, WWE Main Event and Superstars. Well, let's just get on with this review. All right. Like I said, this show starts off with Rollins coming to the ring, so we're expecting 20 minutes of talking. Yeah, 20 minutes of talking. Yeah. I mean, TNA Impact does have some talking at the beginning, but usually leads to a brawl or a match. I guess for the WWE, there's more talking. Okay. Okay, he starts about talking about the Shield Triple Threat match at Battleground for the WWE title. But then he stopped when I just tirade about Roman Reigns being suspended because the wellness tests. He talked about how it embarrassed him, all that. And then he brings up some apology tweet that Roman Reigns sent out because of what happened about the and then he mentions no excuses. I own it. See, now this is why I'm starting to think that this might be a work. Because if this was real, then they're not going to try to mention it. But now that they've done this, I don't know. I think they're just doing this to try to make Roman Reigns the comeback kid. And then Rollins mentioned that because of this, he wants Roman Reigns removed for the main event at Battlegrounds and make it to a one-on-one match between him and Dean Ambrose. And then Ambrose's music starts to play, and he gets to the ring. And he talks about that everyone makes mistakes, and his own only mistake was teaming up with Rollins. And he talks that as far as anyone concerned, the triple threat is still a go. And then AJ Styles music starts to play, and he comes down to the ring, and then he talks about Seth is right that he should be that Roman Reigns should be removed from the pay-per-view, and his place he should take Roman Reigns' place. But then he talks about, after all, he's the guy who beat John Cena. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, let's face it, Dean Ambrose beat John Cena. Seth Rollins beat John Cena. So what? It's another way of him to try to avoid the inevitable golden shovel, which is ever looming. And then Ambrose talks about, let's make it a fatal four-way for the title. But then Seth still wants the one-on-one, and then who would come out? John Cena. And then he went on that today marks 14 years to this day that he made his debut on SmackDown. He made his in-ring debut in the WWE on SmackDown when he went up against Kurt Angle. Oh, God. Yeah. 14 years. March today that Kurt Angle was the first person to feel the power of John Cena's golden shovel. Yeah. So looks like they want to try to make it to a fatal five-way now. And then they went on arguing, then Stephanie McMahon's music starts to play, and so she made the decision that if they wanted a fatal five-way match, then she set up two matches. One was John Cena versus Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles. And if John Cena or AJ Styles win their match, then they will be involved in the main event at Battleground. Yeah, come on. I mean, I knew when I heard this that they weren't going to win. John Cena and AJ Styles weren't going to win. They're still going to have the little fight at Battleground. This is just their way of trying to buy, just use up time. Because all the wrestlers that they have in their roster, they still can't put up a lot of matches in 3 hours. God damn it. I mean, a fatal five-way. But then I don't want to see John Cena becoming the 16-time World Heavyweight Champion. But it's going to happen sooner or later. They're just waiting for the right time against the right person. Probably at WrestleMania or SummerSlam. And then the next match was Dana Brooke and Charlotte versus Paige and Sasha Banks. Okay, this was a decent match between these four women wrestlers. Most of the time, Charlotte was trying to avoid Sasha Banks. And then the majority of the time, Charlotte and Dana Brooke were just double teaming on Paige. Then Paige got some separation, and then Ted and Sasha Banks, so she started to be up on both of them. Then it got to the point where Sasha Banks, Charlotte, but then Paige gave Charlotte a good kick to the face, knocked her out. Then Sasha Banks went to the ring and then put on the Banks statement on Dana Brooks, and they won the match. And then at the end of the match, it had Sasha Banks holding up the women's title. So, yeah, we know that Charlotte and Sasha are going to have their match at Battleground. I don't know if Sasha Banks is going to win, but could be something different. I mean, how many women wrestlers do they have on their roster right now that we can see? Let's see. We got Dana Brooks, Charlotte, Paige, Sasha, Natalya, Becky Lynch. So that's what, 6, 7 if we count Summer Rae. And then the next match, which really wasn't a match, was Rusev versus Titus O'Neil. Because last week they had a match, but then they just started brawling, so the match never happened. But this actually did happen. But this was just average match of power versus power. And then it got to the point where Rusev decided to try to leave. O'Neil started attacking them. And then they had that double clothesline outside, just like they did at the last pay-per-view. But then they both got up, but then Titus O'Neil threw Rusev over into the timekeeper's area, and Titus O'Neil beat and he won via countout. So looks like he's gonna have one more bite at the United States title. All right, so we're gonna have Rusev versus Titus O'Neil for the United States title at Battleground, and I don't understand why there's not that many people trying to go after the United States title or the Intercontinental title. I mean, they should just concentrate on trying to build up those two titles instead of trying to build up the network. I mean, they talked about how they got China. They're finally going to show Raw and China, but let's face it, when those guys see what's happened on Raw, they're just going to turn off their television, just click them off and not watch it. So it's going to be a waste of a deal. Yep. Okay, so they went back. So the cameras went backstage, and there's Stephanie McMahon talking on her phone. And then, once again, Corporate Kane comes up, and he offers his services for SmackDown. So he's trying to buy to be the general manager at SmackDown. But then, Miz and Maurice make their return after filming what was soon to be going to Walmart Marine 5. Let's face it, the majority of the WWE movies go to Walmart or Kmart in the discount item. And he talks about how he's not happy about his return, that his driver didn't open up the door for him. And Maurice talked about how there's no red carpet for him. And then Kane mentions that the WWE rule to defend a title once every 30 days, and since he hasn't done that, he made a title match for him tonight against a mystery partner. Steph agrees, so tonight The Miz was going to face some mystery partner for the Intercontinental Championship match. Oh, God. Uh, we all, you know what, we all thought this would be a great match because we were thinking of a lot of people that was going to fight for the Intercontinental title, but we're going to leave it up. Okay, then the next match was John Cena versus Seth Rollins. And, if John Cena wins, he's going to be in the World Heavyweight title match. Okay, this was a typical John Cena, Seth Rollins match. Lots of 2 counts. John Cena tried to do the 5-knuckle shuffle to him a couple of times. The first time, Seth Rollins kicked him in the face. And John Cena tried to do the, even though it didn't look like he was doing it hard, but Rollins got to the ropes. And then he did hit him with the attitude adjustment. But he was too close to the ropes and got a 2 count. Seth Rollins did the superplex off the top rope into the Falcon's arrow. He got a 2 count. And that should be his finisher. The whole superplex into the Falcon's arrow, that should be his finisher. Or the Phoenix Splash. But no, they still give him that stupid pedigree. At the very end of the match, when John Cena had him in the STF in the middle of the ring, who should come out but AJ Styles and the club? They distract John Cena. Then Seth Rollins hit him with pedigree, and then got the 1-2-3 win. And so Seth Rollins wins, and John Cena is not going to be in the main event. Yeah. And you know what this is going to lead up to. Very predictable. Okay, then, oh God, I have to say, this may be uncomfortable. And this was Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy versus some jobbers. And this is a very short match because Enzo hit a move on one guy, then Big Cass hit the boot on the other, and then did that bottom boom shakalaka on one of them for the win. And then they called those 2 guys soft. And then who makes their appearance of the social outcast. I thought, hey, this is different. And then, oh my God, I don't know why the WWE writers did this. Oh God, I don't know why they did this, or if they were, I don't know what they were thinking. But they said, we are not soft. We are, and I'm going to spell it to you, H-A-R-D, hard. Oh my God. I can't believe it. Oh God. They call themselves hard. They're going to come down the ring. When they come to the ring, they are hard. Oh god, this is horrible. And it kept on getting worse the more they were talking about it. And then Enzo said, okay, so you three guys are hard, and you guys want to come into the ring with us. Oh god. And so the social outcasts made their way into the ring. Heath Slater got up to the ring apron, but Colin Cassie hit him with the boot, and he fell to the ground. Then Chris Axel and Bo Dallas were about to come to the ring, but then they decided not to, and then just took Heath Slater out. And that was it. And once again, Enzo and Cass are in yet another rivalry. Let's see, how many rivalries have they had since they began being the main roster? They had a rivalry with the Dudley Boys, then the Vaudevillains, and now it's the Social Outcast. Yeah. Very good. Okay, and then they showed another Make Darren Young Great Again promo about his goals. But I really hope that they do something with Darren Young. And if Neville is not going to be able to face The Miz for the Intercontinental title, then I really hope Darren Young goes up to The Miz and becomes the Intercontinental Champion. That could do wonders with his career. Yeah. And there's one thing I need to discuss, because I don't know, the WWE thinks that they're the top. They're the top organization in sports entertainment. Let's face it, there's nothing entertaining about the WWE. Nothing. It's just god awful. I mean, these guys don't even wrestle that much. I mean, 2 matches per hour, and the majority of their shows is just talking. Let's face it. I mean, SmackDown's taped, and yet it's better than Raw. And if it goes live, well, I don't know how they're gonna make SmackDown different. I don't know. They're just doing all this stuff, but it's not gonna matter. It's gonna ruin them. Okay, and once again, the WWE uses people to try to get themselves over. And they talked about how the Special Olympic athletes, they show the Special Olympic athletes at the WWE Performance Center. And then they talked about how they're involved in the Special Olympics, and then, oh god, they go up to the stage, and they had the Big Show and some other people, and the Special Olympic athletes. I think that's just sick. I mean, seriously, I mean, they use cancer, and then they use special athletes to try to get themselves over. Okay, you're the biggest company out there. So why do you need to use cancer patients, special needs kids, and mentally challenged people to try to promote yourselves? I mean, if you're the top group, then you don't need to do all this. Let's face it, there are other sports organizations that do the same thing, but they don't promote it. They don't say, they don't go on camera and say they do these things. I mean, it's known. I just don't get why they do this. This is ridiculous. It's every time. I don't understand why they need to do this. I mean, they think they're the only ones that can help these organizations, but I said, so, I just find this whole sickening. Having those kids out there that probably might not know what's going on around them, they're just parading them like that. The WWE are going to get theirs in the very end. Hopefully, everyone smartens up to what the WWE's been doing, then that's going to be it for them. They're spreading themselves too thin. One mistake, and that's the end. And they're gonna go out just like WCW, ECW, only worse. Okay, and then the next match, well, supposed to be a match, is Summer Rae versus Becky Lynch. Summer Rae made her return to Monday Night Raw. But then before the match began, Summer Rae was in the ring and Natalya was on commentary. She talked about why she turned. And then I like this because Natalya was trying to act like Owen Hart when he made his heel turn. Like, she talked about she's trying to be nice, and it never got her. They never got her anything. She's sick and tired of people running over her. And then she mentions enough is enough. It's time for a change. And I think that was great that she went down this Owen Hart heel turn. Two wonders. I just hope that she doesn't put on some mass outfit or go on some high wire act. Yeah, so okay, then Becky Lynch was coming down to the ring. She was about to go into the ring, but then she made a beeline to Natalya, and then she started attacking her. And then Natalya got out and walked away, and that was it. No match. So Summer Rae's return to Monday Night Raw was just nothing. I mean, seriously, this is how you gotta promote the women's division. I mean, we all know that Sasha Banks is gonna become the new women's champion sooner or later, but is this how you gotta promote the rest of your women wrestlers? I mean, come on. You can't just give us a match. God, this is awful. This is awful. Okay, then we had the Chris Jericho highlight reel, where his special guests were Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. So they're still doing this storyline between these two guys about how they're keep on fighting each other throughout this whole entire time in the WWE. Last week was supposed to be the final match. Sami Zayn won via roll-up. And then Kevin Owens started attacking him, which led to a brawl backstage. And I don't know. And Kevin Owens came down to the ring, and Sami Zayn came down also. And I don't know. Let's look at Kevin Owens, and I don't know, he was acting like how he hated Sami Zayn, or maybe he didn't like how he is used in the WWE. Let's face it, he's won what, the Intercontinental title. That's it. That they just keep on putting this storyline between him and Sami Zayn. Oh, come on. This is an old Ring of Honor storyline between El Generico and Kevin Steen. Let's face it, I like that rivalry than this one in the WWE. Because at least in Ring of Honor, it was based on athleticism. They just want to top each other. But right now, the WWE, this is more like hurt feelings, frustration, and betrayal. But okay, Jericho mentions that he notices the loathing between Zayn and Owen, and that's why he had the one raised up in the arena. Then he talked about how it was all like this, and then he talked about how Sami Zayn was the best man at Kevin Owens' wedding, and he just started to try to get both of them to beat each other again. Then Sami starts saying that neither his nor Owens' career can go anywhere until they end their feud. How he cost Owens the Royal Rumble, the IC title at WrestleMania, and the ladder match, and case. And then he wants to. And then Sami Zayn wants answers about why he betrayed him. Talked about what happened at NXT. And Kevin Owens has an answer. And he just kept on Owens, and he still want to know why he betrayed him at NXT R Evolution. After Sami Zayn beat Neville for the title, him and Owens hugged, and Owens powerbombed the ring apron. This was 2 years ago. And then Kevin Owens said that he's always told him the truth. It was always about business. And he talked about how Sami was the one who ruined their friendship. And he did everything in his indie career to get to the WWE. And this included their friendship and war together. And so they decided that they're going to have one more battle at Battleground. And then Chris Jericho started talking about, he talked about and then he talked about how Sami Zayn cared what the crowd thinks. And then he talked about how that made him sick, that he wanted to slap Sami's face. And then he wants Owens to do it a few weeks ago. And then he was trying to make them fight each other, but he ended up pissing both off And then I had to give them both the gift of Jericho, and jerk it all in. And then both of them simultaneously kicked Jericho, knocked him out with those two kicks. So that's how that ended. Yeah. Although this was a good promo for their fight, I don't know what type of match they're gonna have. I don't know if it's gonna be a career versus career match, but if they're gonna do this final battle, it'll be big. And then and then we finally had the Intercontinental Championship match between The Miz and a mystery opponent. So The Miz got into the ring, and him and Maurice are looking out of the balcony. I mean, the stage, and you know what? I thought it would have been Neville. That Neville returned, ready to face The Miz. Because they had a storyline a few months ago, and I thought that he finally got covered and they're gonna finally fight. Or it could have been Finn Balor or someone else, I don't know. It could have been anyone, including Zack Ryder. I mean, let's face it, they really screwed him. I mean, he won the title at WrestleMania, but then they took it off of him. They gave it to The Miz. I mean, this is the same thing that they did with Christian. Christian won the World Heavyweight title at Extreme Rules after Edge was going to retire after WrestleMania because of his neck injuries. And then the very next SmackDown, they put on a match between Randy Orton, and Randy Orton won. So that was a short title reign. But the mystery opponent turned out to be the big red machine, Kane. So Kane is now the masked Kane again, and the crowd was dead. They didn't cheer for Kane when he came out. They didn't cheer during this match. And this match was just a one-sided match for Kane. I mean, The Miz has some offenses, try to get him down to eye level. But Kane brushed it off and was on top. But then at a certain point in the match, Maurice was on the ring apron, and Kane had The Miz in a chokehold. And then he hit the ropes, and Maurice went flying off the ring apron onto the ground. And then she played like her ankle was injured. And so The Miz went outside the ring, checked on the Maurice, and decided to carry Maurice to the backstage. And he got counted out, and Kane won by a count out. And then they went backstage, and and then it showed how Maurice faked the ankle injury. And then The Miz said that was the best acting I ever seen in his life. Oh, God. So we're going to have a storyline between The Miz and Kane. I don't know if they're going to have this story between him and Kane, like Kane wants the Intercontinental title, or I don't know. They are really dropping the ball on the Intercontinental and the United States title. And so the next match they had was Cesaro and Apollo Crews versus Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio. And I thought that this was the return of the League of Nations, but it didn't turn out that way because, it was a good match for Apollo Crews and Cesaro. And they had a double team. And Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio did have a double team on Cesaro, but throughout the entire match, there was some resentment between Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio. I mean, Sheamus didn't want to tag in Alberto Del Rio that much. And so somehow, I don't know, and then he started tagging hard to Alberto Del Rio. And then got to the point where Cesaro was able to tag in Apollo Crews, and he had a great showing, just start a fight. But then, at one point, Alberto Del Rio tagged in Sheamus, but I guess he got so pissed off that he did an enziguri or kicked him on the side of the head to Sheamus, so he went down right near the steel steps, and Alberto Del Rio walked out on him. Apollo Crews came and did a drop kick, run to steel steps that hit Sheamus, and then he got Sheamus back in the ring and did that standing powerbomb and got the win. So Cesaro, Apollo Crews won. I don't know what they're gonna do now with Alberto Del Rio. I mean, they had a storyline between him and Cesaro, but with this, I don't know if Alberto Del Rio is gonna turn face again. And then they went backstage, and JoJo was interviewing Dean Ambrose. And then she was interviewing about his match between AJ Styles. But then Stephanie McMahon came, and she just talks about how she's one step closer trying to Ambrose's title reign. I don't know. And then the white little Titantron came on with the little flashes, but it wasn't the real White family. It was the New Day dressed up like the White family. You had Big E dressed up as Bray Wyatt. You had Xavier Woods as Luke Harper, and you had Kofi Kingston as Eric Rowan. God. This whole promo, they just ripped on it. And they just ripped on the Wyatt family. And Big E was carrying this, I don't know what it was. It was just a whole bunch of those glowing unicorn horns on something. I don't know. Trying to act like a lantern. They went on insulting the Wyatts. How about their bad hygiene? And they smell like cabbage. I don't know. And then they talk about how they're going to roast the Wyatts for the rest of the show. But then the Wyatt family came out there, and once again, Luke Harper is not there. I don't know if he's injured or not. And then Bray Wyatt says, "A new day, yes it is." And then it talks about how the New Day caters to the masses and all that's fun stuff. Oh, God, yeah. Then the crowd started chanting New Day rocks. And then it talks about how the world isn't filled with unicorns, it's filled with danger and all that. Then he wants to challenge the power of positivity, the power of positivity in relation to a person who lost his job. And Kofi starts saying that the power of positivity is a way of life, something that whites know nothing about. And then Bray Wyatt started to talk to Xavier Woods. He's saying, and he talks about how Xavier Woods hadn't said anything. He talked about Xavier Woods, like, did he feel of the power of positivity? But once again, Xavier Woods didn't say anything. And then he talks about how he's just playing one of New Day's game. However, there are no winners or losers, only malice and destruction. Then it flashes off. Then we can see backstage New Day being interviewed by Renee Young. I don't know. She talks about how why are they promoting the Wyatts. Biggie and Kofi starts talking about how it's a, but once again, Xavier Woods was scared that I don't know what this means. I mean, I don't know if Xavier Woods going to turn on the New Day or this is just an act for them to use when they face the Wyatts. You know, a way for them to still regain the titles. Face the Wyatts, probably at Battleground for the titles, or maybe this is going to be a 6-man tag. I don't know, but this is leave us to guess. So hopefully this will lead up to something good. Okay, then AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose. I mean, I have to say this was the match of the night. I mean, they had they showed some really good moves. I mean, lots of counters. It had Seth Rollins at commentary. He talked to Michael Cole, JBL, Byron Saxton about he can't believe he's forced to root for Dean Ambrose. Throughout that match, AJ Styles was at cocky, but it was a great match. One of the good matches throughout Monday Night Raw. But then, at the very end of the match, the Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson came down, and they decided they were going to interfere in the match. But then John Cena came out and started attacking Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and that distracted AJ Styles long enough for Dean Ambrose to do a roll up on AJ Styles, but then it transitioned into the Dirty Deeds, and that's how Dean Ambrose won. So it's still going to be a triple threat match. But then at the very end, AJ Styles and the club started attacking John Cena, and Seth Rollins started to attack Dean Ambrose. He did the pedigree, and then John Cena and the club were on the stage, and then AJ Styles yelled out Magic Killer, and they did the Magic Killer by the grating. And that's how it ended with the club and AJ Styles raised their hands and Seth Rollins raising the title. And that's how they ended it. So we're right back to the same old main event that we had. We're just going to lead up to AJ Styles versus John Cena. This Raw. I don't know. They had one or two decent matches, but the rest was just talking and short matches and matches that never start. I mean, how long can they keep on doing this? And what I don't understand is why has the USA Network canceled Raw? I mean, it's got to be the lowest rated show that they have on the network. I mean, they got so many good shows like Mr. Robot. Let's see, Doubt. There's some new shows that's coming along, but Monday Night Raw has been getting the lowest ratings that they ever received since the beginning. Oh, and also, it was mentioned by JBL that today marked 14 years. It marked the day that he won the WWE title from Eddie Guerrero at Bash at the Beach. Good match of Eddie Guerrero. But this whole show is just, I don't get it. I mean, usually bad shows like this get canceled, yet the USA Network hasn't. And now they're bringing SmackDown. Now they brought SmackDown, which is a little bit better than Raw, but live, I don't know how SmackDown is going to after that. This whole thing with AJ Styles and John Cena. And yet, they really are crappy on the tag team division, the women's division. I mean, come on. I mean, yes, the Wyatts are going to face them for the tag team titles. And I like how they're trying to go about trying to make this match better. We got, is there was scare of the Wyatts? I mean, that's a good thing. But now that I'm going to try to help out with the Intercontinental and the United States titles now. And I'm still this whole Roman Reigns being suspended for failing a wellness test. I'm pretty sure they don't really enforce that. I mean, seriously, if they enforce that wellness test, then maybe Eddie Guerrero would still be alive. Then maybe, how am I going to say this? Then maybe CB would still be around. And I think you know who I'm talking about. Maybe if they were performing the wellness test on them, and maybe they should have performed a wellness test on Lance Archer. Maybe he'll still be alive. This whole thing of Roman Reigns is wellness tests, and I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, they knew he failed before the pay-per-view, but they couldn't do anything about it since the match was already made. But now they enforce it. I mean, why didn't they do that after the pay-per-view? I don't know if this is going to work or not, but this proves that they're just regurgitating the same old crap. And if they keep doing this, then how come? They must be giving the USA Network lots of money. Was on the show, but Keith was on the USA Network because I don't think that any other network would want them. And for some strange reason, they're airing Monday Night Raw, like a rerun of Monday Night Raw on a Sci-Fi network. But instead of being a 3-hour Raw, it's a 2-hour Raw, so I guess it's a very edited Raw. I haven't seen how it looks, but I'm pretty sure it's probably like SmackDown. Well, not as good as SmackDown, but I just don't get it. I mean, we have so many good shows that a lot of people like, but they get canceled. Yeah, that crappy show like Monday Night Raw, the lowest ratings on USA Network, and they're still around. I don't know. I'm pretty sure as soon as their money runs out, the USA Network will have no choice but to get rid of them. And now they're just spreading themselves thin with China, try to air Monday Night Raw to them, and if people, once they see that, one little thing would just turn the Chinese off of Monday Night Raw, and this whole deal would be bust. It looks like they're putting everything on the network now. And if the network fails, then maybe the WWE will fail. They're digging up their own grave. I mean, the WWE can't keep doing this. They can't go on like this. I mean, eventually people gotta wise up and they're just gonna stop watching, stop going to these shows. And sooner or later, some of these wrestling organizations will finally get their TV deals that they deserve. It will be much bigger than Monday Night Raw. I mean, if people want to see some athleticism, then they should turn on the NBC for American Ninja Warriors. This whole show. I mean, this can't go on. And I want to know how you think. Should Monday Night Raw be canceled? Should they just get rid of it altogether? Just leave your comments on this video. And hopefully the wrestling organizations will rise up and take on the WWE. But until then, let's go and watch something else. I mean, you don't have to watch Monday Night Raw. You don't have to watch on television. You just go watch something else good. And I'll just leave it out there and saw this video. Hit the like button if you like it. If there's something that I need to improve on these little reviews on the video, I'll take a look at them, make some improvements, and hopefully sooner or later I can do a lot more than this. But until then, right now, and like this, and thank you and good night.